Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and this is a very special video, and I decided that I was going to go through with this with a lot of people talking about the best things of the decade as the 2010s wrap up, and it's going to be 2020, so I decided to rank my top 10 films of the decade. And what I decided to do wasn't going to be just looking at all the films from the past decade and picking my 10 favorite. I picked my favorite from each year. And I'm going to talk a little bit about each and why I would recommend these films, and we're going to start with 2010 and its True Grit. The Coen brothers were the perfect writers and directors to take this book, which had once been adapted, in a pretty hokey Western starring John Wayne, which he won his Oscar for. But this is so true to the book, the style of speech, and the performances, and just the production feels so perfect. And it's a great adaptation. It's hilarious. There's a lot of dry humor, great performances. Haley Steinfeld is amazing in this film. And Jeff Bridges gives a great performance as Rooster Cogburn, and he's over the top. But the rest of the supporting cast with Matt Damon and Josh Brolin, this is a great film. It is one of the best modern westerns. And it's honestly, I think, one of the Coen brothers' best. It's definitely one of their best adaptations, up there with No Country for Old Men, which honestly is like top tier Coen brothers for me. They're my favorite directors. I absolutely love this film. Yeah, if you're not into westerns, you're probably not going to find a whole lot in this, but the thing is, it's a great western, it's a great film, and it's a great adaptation. So go check it out. Now, 2011, very different kind of film, and that's Drive. Honestly, the only film from Nicholas Winding Refn that I actually enjoyed, but this was something that was so different because I remember this being advertised as Fast and the Furious, but the music is engrossing and atmospheric. The production design and the directing and the cinematography is gorgeous, the neons, everything. Ryan Gosling gives us intense, almost silent performance. And you have Bryan Cranston and Ron Perlman and Albert Brooks, who is amazing and terrifying in this film. This film is intense, it is brutal, and it really takes you for a ride. And it's one of the best thrillers I've seen in a long time, and Drive is definitely something I highly recommend, especially to all you cinephiles out there. 2012, and it's Rian Johnson's Looper. I'm a huge science fiction fan, so you're probably going to notice there's a lot of sci-fi on here, but Looper is one of my favorite time-traveling films. Joseph Gordon-Levitt gives a great performance. Bruce Willis in his best performance, along with Moonrise Kingdom, in decades. And he really delivers this emotionally raw, intense performance, and how the story and the time-traveling and the affection of time really plays out for some of these horrifying, intense moments. Emily Blunt, so great in this film. The action's impressive, the cinematography's impressive, where the story takes you, and all the way up to this big emotional payoff and climax of this film. I love Looper. It's a really cool, inventive film. Highly recommend it. 2013, The World's End. And by far my favorite Edgar Wright film, and another sci-fi film. And this is a spoof of Invasion of the Body Snatchers, but what Edgar Wright does best is when he spoofs something, he makes an amazing film. This is an amazing science fiction film. And you're drawn into this mystery, some crazy inventive action sequences, some great humor. Whiskey Bar, the Alabama song, can never hear that ever again without thinking about this movie and the awkward walking of all of our group of characters that we follow. And it's a great group of performances from Simon Pegg and Nick Frost, Patty Considine, and just Martin Freeman, and just everybody, Rosamund Pike, Pierce Brosnan, and just everything, and Bill Nighy popping up as a giant spaceship computer. And it's so funny and inventive, but so emotionally impactful too, and that's one of the best things about Edgar Wright's films. I love this film. That bathroom sequence is one of the most fun action sequences I've seen in a long time, and I absolutely love this film from start to finish. 2014, Interstellar. Christopher Nolan is one of my favorite directors, and this is my favorite Nolan film. And it brings the heart that a lot of people say that he can't bring in his films. And Matthew McConaughey brings emotional impact in this film, and this is an ode to the Kubrick sci-fi of 2001: A Space Odyssey, and the effects, the music. Hans Zimmer's score for Interstellar is one of my favorite scores ever. Those organs are haunting and intense, and yeah, there's a lot of exposition. But you know what? This film really delivers on a big picture epic science fiction film, and it's not going to be for everybody. And I know the ending is pretty controversial with a lot of people as well, and there's surprises along the way, but this intensity, the cinematography, the music, everything, the craft of how this film was made, I absolutely love it. 2015, Mad Max Fury Road. And if you didn't guess that one, then you probably don't watch my channel or read any of my best ever challenge entries on SifPop, because every chance I get I write about Fury Road. What have I not said about Fury Road? This is the perfect action film. It's a great science fiction dystopian film. Tom Hardy is intense. Charlize Theron is amazing and emotionally intense, and Morton Joe and his whole world is crazy. It's madness. It's this perpetual motion of thrills and perfectly shot action. It's gorgeous. The colors, the music, one of my other favorite scores of all time, from Junkie XL, Tom Hulkenberg. And this is the perfect action movie, and I absolutely love it. And you know what? It has themes about survival and thriving in life, and it just delivers on everything. 2016, and this is probably the most surprising choice on this list, is Silence, and Martin Scorsese's last film before The Irishman. This is haunting, epic in scale and time, performances from Andrew Garfield and Adam Driver, and the small portion of Liam Neeson's actually in this film. It's just so engaging and impactful and beautiful, so well shot, and it really has so much to say about faith. And you're taking on a journey of faith throughout this film, and Scorsese delivers perfection with this film. And Hell or High Water was a really close second, because I absolutely love that film too. But this is something special, and this proves why when people say Scorsese is just like this great director who makes great gangster movies, this is what else he can do. 2017, Blade Runner 2049. And this film is the meaning of epic. Roger Deakins' cinematography, the music, just how this is shot. Denis Villeneuve and how he creates this whole entire world and the story with all its twists and turns, intensity, action, performances from Ryan Gosling and Ana de Armas and Harrison Ford coming back and Jared Leto being so creepy. And just everything firing on so many cylinders and just engrossing. And me, of all people, who hates machines and is a robophobe, really caring about a relationship between two machines. And this film really delivered. Should they have spent like $175 million on a Blade Runner sequel? Probably not the smartest business decision, but you know what? I'm glad they did it. 2018, Annihilation. Alex Garland is an amazing screenwriter and amazing director. Ex Machina, another of my favorite films of the 2010s. He follows up with this incredible adaptation on his own that delivers action and humor and human drama, horror. That bear sequence is one of the most terrifying things I've ever seen in a movie. This effects, the music is unnerving, the performances are impressive. Natalie Portman and Jennifer Jason Leigh, and just everything. It's so well-rounded and makes you feel so many emotions, and there's so many unnerving things in this film, and it's so beautiful to watch. And it makes you think so much. You have so much to think about after you watch Annihilation. And then 2019, Jojo Rabbit. And Taika Waititi is becoming quickly one of my favorite directors. Just watched the last episode of The Mandalorian, and he did an amazing job with that. But this film takes on some horrible ideas and themes and time period and human history, and is able to be a great satire on hate. It's so funny, but so emotionally impactful, and one of the most emotionally resonant scenes I've experienced all this year in film happens in this movie, and the performances from everyone. Taika Waititi's hilarious and also scary as Hitler, and Scarlett Johansson really gives her best performance along with her performance in Marriage Story. Roman Griffith Davis, who plays young Jojo, and forget what her name. Jeez. And the young woman who plays the young Jewish girl, and that makes me so mad. Jeez. But they're so amazing performances, and I absolutely love this film. I laughed. I almost legitimately cried watching this movie. And it has so much to say in such a creative way. Sam Rockwell gives a great performance, and I'm surprised by some of the character growth in different characters in this film. And there it is. Those are my 10 best films of the 10 years that made up this decade. Comment below if you want to chat about any of them in more detail, but I always love talking about movies, so watch this video and comment and let's talk some movies. But thank you as always for supporting your Wasteland Reviewer.